Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I would appreciate it majorly. So, very quickly, just wanted to update you on the latest developments in the missing Colorado woman, Suzanne Morphew, that is being reported by Daily Mail. .com and this seems to be an exclusive. They do have a reporter there that's in Salida, California, which is basically, I think, the largest town that's closest by to where they live. I think technically they live in Maysville, where she went missing. She went missing very close to the home, and that's where the search has been pretty much done over the last 9 days or so in various places. And there's been some confusion in terms of exactly where they were searching. The authorities are, keeping it very close to the chest naturally. And I don't know, just some of the reporting is not altogether clear when some of the new information comes out, like where the personal item was found and where the search was focused after that as a result of the personal item that was found. And even though we don't even know what that is, if it's more than one or not, the bike. Even the bike, the authorities, the Chaffee County Sheriff, I think his name is John Spees, basically wouldn't confirm that they located the bike, even though a relative, Trevor Knoll, who set up the GoFundMe page, had stated to media reports early on that they had found the bike, I believe, Sunday night. And actually, in this Daily Mail piece, it says that they found it at a bridge nearby where she lives. And I looked on the map. I couldn't find necessarily, an obvious bridge where it might have been found. But I didn't look exhaustively. I mean, this is where the focus of the search has been. This is Highway 50, and I don't want to review this over and over. And this is County Line Road 225. They live in this area right here. There's only a few homes, and they're rather nice, all of them, and they're fairly far apart. And it's heavily wooded as well. In this Daily Mail article, they mention a number of new things. One is that it was the daughters who contacted a nearby neighbor, I assume in one of these homes, that's very close by, to basically go check on their mom when they hadn't heard from her since May 9th, which is the day before Mother's Day. So she hadn't been seen or heard from since Saturday, not Sunday. There had been some speculating, and I think there's other people that are making videos that, where somebody had shared some information that she might have gone missing prior to the day that she was, technically declared missing, or missing persons report was filed with the police, or she was reported missing. So, but last night I saw the reports that by, I think it was Fox News, the local Fox affiliate in that area, I believe, reported, a couple outlets reported that the house had been cordoned off, and basically, family and, namely Barry Morphew, was being blocked from entering the home, and that it hadn't been searched. I mean, that's what I read last night, is that, but they weren't allowing anybody to enter the home, but it hadn't been searched as of yet. But this Daily Mail piece is reporting that it was searched yesterday. So I don't know how the reports got mixed up there as well, and maybe they're reporting, maybe this search actually took place today, Wednesday, and not Tuesday, but repeatedly throughout the Daily Mail article, it names Tuesday when these CSI investigators were entering the home, bringing in equipment and bringing out bags of evidence. And there's two pictures right there, of two different detectives either bringing in or out. I believe this guy with the Ziploc bag, I believe that's evidence he's bringing out, and the other one, I'm not sure if that investigator is bringing it in or out. Not real positive of that. I don't know what CSI investigators necessarily, if that indicates that they suspect a homicide or what. I'm not a lawyer or a detective, obviously. But another thing that's reported in this Daily Mail piece is that a number of things, that Barry, like I said, Barry has been prohibited from entering the home. He's staying at a nearby neighbor, who I assume is a friend. I don't know if that's the same neighbor who one of the two daughters contacted to check on their mother when they hadn't heard from her. who's the same neighbor that ultimately called the police around 5:46 p.m. Sunday evening. So I don't know if he's staying at that person's house or another house very close by. But I mean, the way it's reported in this Daily Mail piece, it sounds as though he's very nearby, and that when CSI investigators showed up Tuesday morning to search the home, he and another friend, and they have a couple, I think a husband and wife who's flown in from Indiana, where they're from, where the Morphews are from, who's staying at the same neighbor's house too, who's just there for support and also to help look for Suzanne. At the time the CSI investigators showed up yesterday morning, Barry and a friend of his, I think his name is George Davis or Jeffrey Davis, I think it's George Davis, left that same neighbor's property. Actually, Daily Mail tried to speak, I think, to George Davis very quickly, and he just said, I'm too busy right now to comment on anything. George Davis, I think, has been helping Barry Morphew communicate with the press in some cases because the authorities have they've taken his phone, and they've also taken his car, so there's that as well. They also have not allowed employees from the fire department where he volunteers, other firefighters to participate in this search along with police. I don't know if they normally would in these circumstances, probably, but the firefighters from I think it's the Chaffee County Fire Department. I'm fairly certain. I don't know that fire departments actually encompass the entire county. That normally is not the case, but I'm fairly certain that's where he works. It says it on his Facebook page, which is why I'm going there right now. Correct. Wildland firefighter at Chaffee County Fire Protection District. So, it's been reported, or at least speculated, that he was away. I mean, it's been reported, the family said he was out of town in Denver over the weekend when his wife went missing. Some people had mentioned that he was there for a fire training exercise, and supposedly, according to this Daily Mail piece, they report that he told reporters that that's where he was for the whole weekend. It's not clear, when he went for that, if he left on Friday, what day he left, and so forth. I mean, it seems as though, she went missing, or she hasn't been seen or heard from since the day before Mother's Day, Saturday. So that kind of comes into play, but like I said, they've taken his car, they've taken his phone. Other firefighters who work in the same fire department as him are not allowed to participate in the search that's being conducted by the police and the FBI and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, as well as neighboring counties. Pueblo County, I believe, has they've drafted some divers from the neighboring county to search what is a nearby reservoir. I think that was done in the last day or two, which was news to me as well. I mean, I thought they were searching. The pictures I had seen before, like the Denver Post, it looked as though they were just searching in the stream that ran along Highway 50, that was rather shallow and only like waist high. But it appears, according to this Daily Mail piece, that they were searching this reservoir. Well, it says a reservoir within a mile of their home. This is Highway 50. Most of the search seemed to be focused on Highway 50, or at least that's what's been reported. Highway 50 and County Line Road 225. But this is the only sort of body of water nearby that could be considered a reservoir. In fact, there's a dam there which would make it a reservoir. I'm fairly certain that that's where they were searching. So, but a lot of the reporting seemed to focus on Highway 50 up to this point. And when I saw those pictures of divers in a body of water that seemed like a stream, that seemed like fairly shallow, waist high at most, I thought they were in this stream, the South Arkansas River that ran along Highway 50. In fact, in one of the Daily Mail pieces, they basically highlighted a section of this that they were focusing on, I think, after finding the personal item. But there was the previous report that they had closed down Highway 50 at over, I forget it, Morgan Pass. I think it's Morgan Pass, which is right near the Morgan, mountain where this ski resort is, which is all the way down here. It's not Morgan, it's Monarch Pass. Monarch Pass is down here, and I've seen reports where that's talked about, the fact that Highway 50 was closed down over Morgan Pass, and there's photos of the mountain in the background, so at some point I think the search was taking place here as well. So just in terms of, I think I mentioned, I already tried to make this video once, that there's been a fair amount of confusion in terms of the reporting isn't altogether clear what exactly is going on. So, I saw yesterday that a family member, I think it's his uncle, Robert Morphew or Bob Morphew, spoke to reporters basically saying, that he believed his nephew, Barry Morphew it would never harm Suzanne, and that basically what you saw on the video that he made pleading for her safe return, trying to talk to whoever may have her to, we'll no questions asked, whatever it takes, we want you back, that was sincere, and that he would never, that they were a very loving couple, basically saying his nephew is innocent. And, a lot of people I think are suspecting the husband and looking to the husband. I have a tendency to believe that uncle. I have a tendency to think that he's not the person, he's not responsible for her, if any harm has come to her, or if she's been killed, or abducted, or both. I don't think he's the one who is responsible for it. But I have no idea. I don't know why the daughters called the neighbor, didn't call him. There might have been, they might have called him. They might have called him and he told him, call the neighbor, do that. And it just happened that way. Who knows? So I personally think there's something else going on here, but I do think she was targeted. I do think that this was not some random event and that she was targeted for a reason, obviously. And that whoever did this isn't necessarily known by name, but to these people, to this family, but they know of each other. There's something going on, I think, that I just don't think this was random. I think she was specifically targeted for a reason. I have a thought what that reason is, but I'm just going to keep that to myself for now. So it's pretty much the extent of it right now. There are pictures of Barry at, the neighbor's home. I assume that's it right there. And this is him, I think, leaving, when the CSI investigators showed up at his home, which I believe wasn't far away from this, and he and his, even though he's being sort of told not to participate in the search and so forth, they are doing some of their own searching on their own. I think one of the firefighters that works in the same fire department as him has basically said that, there are certain places they can go that they, there's nothing the authorities can do about it, and that they're just trying to do as much as they possibly can to locate Suzanne, But that's his friend that's mentioned in this, who he's been relying on, I think, to do some of his communication for him, or using his phone, I guess, to talk to reporters, whatever. Not that he's done a lot of talking to reporters. George Davis, he's 52. Barry is. His friend is 33. His friend looked like, I think he served in the military, I think maybe served some time in Iraq. Looked like he worked for Halliburton at some point. If it's the same person that I found with that name from his Facebook page under his friends, but that's who's, and I don't know how they're associates. Like, I don't know if he works in the fire department alongside him, even though that's not mentioned in this piece. They spoke to a fellow firefighter, but not about the George Davis. I don't know how they know each other exactly, because there's an age difference, and I just don't know how they're associates and why, what the friendship is. Anyways, that's pretty much the extent of it. And but there's a lot. That's the most I've heard from any reports so far while she's been missing. So that's that area that I was talking about. And actually that's to the east of Highway 50 in County Line Road 225. I didn't even realize. I thought it was the west of there where they were focusing their search. But a lot of people have been getting things wrong, I think, and that just happens when everyone's trying to get information out there and stuff like as quick as possible. All right, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.